everyone, I'm Priya Sheth and I will be taking you through all the top news stories in the startup space today. Now, the companies that are in focus today include Ola Electric, Altiria Capital, as well as An Academy. Well, headline number one, Ola Electric, which was launched just last month, has raised over $200 million and is now at a valuation of about $3 billion. This funding round was led by Falcon Edge, SoftBank, among others, and this fundraise is coming at a time when Ola has sold about $150 million worth of scooters in the first purchase window. Now, Ola is also working towards Mission Electric, which pushes the industry to move to EV two-wheelers by 2025. Well, headline number two, Altiria Capital is prepping for its second venture debt fund with a target corpus of 1,000 crore rupees. There is an expectation of strong interest from domestic investors, which may cause a significant oversubscription. Now, startups will continue to remain a target for Altiria, both early as well as growth stage ones, with check sizes of about 200 crore rupees. And the final headline of the day, tech platform An Academy has infused $20 million in job finding platform Relevel. This investment comes 4 months after An Academy launched Relevel. The platform currently has 2.35 lakh users and claims to have a 100% placement rate for users that qualify the test. Now, An Academy's ongoing Series H funding round has brought in $10 million from Zeta founder Bhavin Tarakia and Dragoneer Investment Group. Well, moving on to our second segment, I have with me a company called InstaMojo, and I have with me Sampath Rain from InstaMojo. Thank you very much for joining us beyond the daily dispatch. I want to begin by asking you about the kind of search that we're seeing in the whole D2C space. You've helped so many businesses come online. Tell us a little bit about how the adoption has been of your platform and what kind of signups have you seen over the last couple of months through this pandemic?
Yeah, so I think it was an interesting time over the last 18 months or so. I think initially, we underestimated the kind of potential that lockdown especially was bringing on table. What you have seen over the last 18 months or so is a lot of small business owners, especially D2C merchants, direct to consumer merchants. They're adopting digital tools as a means to reach out to their customers, sell products and services, and communicate more effectively. I think that has taken off, and I think it is needless to say that I think COVID has kind of created and accelerated this entire digital transformation journey of not only just large business owners but also small and micro businesses, right? And it has absolutely worked as a tailwind for these businesses to adopt platforms like ours to kind of start and operate their online business.
Right. I want to understand going forward, what is the kind of, kind of features or products that you will be adding onto your platform to help businesses service their customers in a much more effective manner?
Sure. So, as you guys know, that we started off as a payment service product. Over the last couple of years, we have kind of evolved more into full stack or a one-stop solution for small business owners to kind of start and operate the online business. On the same wavelength, we provide not just payments, we also provide online stores. You can upload your products and SKUs on the store, beautify the stores. We have beautiful themes to kind of for the look and feel. We have order management systems, we have inventory management systems, we have customer management systems, and of course, third-party solutions as well, like logistics, WhatsApp support, marketing tools, and so on and so forth. At the same time, we also have been providing sachet loans for working capital requirements as well. So it's kind of, if you want to kind of start your online business, we want to present InstaMojo as a potential option for you to basically start, so that we can take care of all your needs that you may need to basically start and run your online business.
Right. Going forward, I want to understand then if you could give our viewers some perspective as to how many merchants are on your platform at this point in time, and what kind of ambitions do you have in terms of what kind of signups and subscriptions do you expect at the end of this financial year?
Absolutely. So over the last 1 year that we have launched the product in the marketplace, we have onboarded so far about 150,000 D2C brands on the platform. Over the next 6 months to close out FY22, we are expecting another 100,000 to be added. So in total, in the first 18 months of operation, we would have onboarded close to about 250,000 D2C small merchants on the platform. That's kind of the immediate goal, right? And in the past, we have been already providing transaction services. That was our primary revenue model, along with the e-commerce product suite that you're offering to our merchants. We also have introduced a subscription service, which was introduced around February this year, which is about 7-8 months old. That has also taken off in a big way. So we're expecting FY21 to close out with 250,000 merchants, providing both transaction services from payments and SaaS subscription service as our revenue model.
I want to understand what are the top three focus areas for you out there in the coming financial year. What would you attribute these to?
Well, there are three focus areas for us. One is to onboard more and more merchants, because as I mentioned earlier, what has happened during the COVID is more and more small business owners, they're open to explore more digital ways to do business. So as I mentioned, 250,000 merchants that are on board on the platform today. The overall size of the market, we're looking at about 7.5, 8 million. And these are only merchants, not the entire SME audience. We're talking about a section of this 7.5, 8 million merchants who are our direct target group. They are the social media sellers selling on Instagram and Facebook and social platforms. So they are direct TG. So our first order of business is to get more and more of them. Today we have 250,000 merchants so far. Second is to kind of give them pretty much each and every component that is required for this class of merchants to run their online business, starting from stores, beautiful themes, order management, CRM, so on and so forth. Some of the features we will be building in-house, some of the things we will be partnering outside. There are companies who do a great job of it, so we'll be partnering with them. So that's the second order of business. And third thing is to basically create an extremely varied and diverse partner ecosystem, right? Where we are not going to just build those tools, but also bring third-party companies, like logistics is one example. So these companies can also provide their services back to our merchant base, so that the merchants have pretty much each and every component they require to run their e-commerce business.
Right. I want to understand in terms of fundraising, are you looking at some sort of funding out there, considering that you have big plans in terms of expansion and onboarding more merchants?
Yeah, single word answer is yes. We will be looking to raise. Yeah, it's work in progress, but it will be slightly larger amount than we have done so far. We have raised about 15 million, 15 million so far. We are looking at something much larger than that in a single order. Yeah.
Right. And the final question before I let you go, in terms of revenues, what kind of revenues are you targeting at the end of FY22?
So FY22, we should be closing at about 50 crore of revenue approximately, right? With a gross margin of north of 60%, right? And this will be the first full financial year of our e-commerce operations. But it's a fantastic base to build upon for FY23, FY24, and so on and so forth.
All right. Thank you very much, Sampath, for joining us today on the Daily Dispatch. It's been a real pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much for your time. Well, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the Daily Dispatch. I'll catch you on Monday at 5 p.m. Goodbye and have a lovely weekend.